Hey Virgos, welcome and welcome back to the Honey Sea Star Tarot and welcome to the Transformation Gate portal. Before we get started, I just want to say thank you guys to each and every one of you for all the ways that you love and support this channel. Truly, each one of you make a difference and I love you back. So today on May 5th, we are blessed with the gateway of change and renewal. And also the May 5th portal is known as the Beltane portal. But this is where the earth aligns with the constellation Taurus. And so it brings dynamic change and freedom. And it cannot come soon enough according to the tarot. This is where you are approaching your goals. There's fast action, but it brings stability and it also brings your justice. This is where you're collecting your harvest, you're standing in your strength, but there's incoming messages of good news where if you had been enduring restrictions before, this is where you're breaking free, unrestricted, and charging forward. Like I say, this brings change and freedom. But the gateway of change and renewal, really, it's all about embracing shifts, letting go of fear, and moving towards adventure. This is also when the veil is thin. And so this is the time to tap in and to manifest and allow yourself to access the higher frequencies, to receive the clear guidance from your ancestors, from the universe, to receive and to embrace new beginnings and new possibilities. And so at this time, looking at the tarot, this is where you are being recognized. Like I say, your hard work is paying off. Now, you could also be in a situation where there's collaboration, there's co-creation with teamwork involved. But this is where you're also making a name. You're standing in your reputation. And there's a need for applause. This is where you're finding a synthesis and a dynamic balance with that synergy of the three. And it has a lot to do with your solar plexus. This is where you are standing in your strength, knowing that, and also too, being shown that you are enough. You always have been and you always will be. And that is where I am just saying you are also standing as the Page of Swords. This is where you're finally being assertive. You're standing in your power. You're standing in your ambition. And you're also being outspoken with unblocking that throat chakra and taking action, especially when it comes to standing against conflict, standing up for the issues that resonate for you, the ideas that resonate with you. And you're taking action against sadness, apathy, and more importantly, against conflict, against troubles. There's a lot of Neptune energy involved here, but there's also a lot of Aquarian energy, which holds that visionary, and then also the Piscean energy, which holds the dreamer within each and every one of us. But what we also have here as well, I mean, there's two Neptunes, which really signifies you're following your heart, you're following your dreams, and this is your judgment. You know, I can't quote people, so please don't hold it against me. I'm not going to try. But I heard, I think it was Jim Carrey that said this, but I just thought it was profound. But basically, he told the story of wise advice. And so as he was growing up, his dad, the way he put it is his dad could have been an amazing comedian, but instead he took the safe route. He went to school, he got a job as an accountant, and he provided for his family, right? He did the expectation. He wanted to build a steady and reliable source of foundations for his family. Well, that job basically came and went, and he had to endure, or their family had to endure, really reinventing the wheel, starting over, going through those struggles and those financial hardships. And so Jim kind of realized at this point, I think it was like a turning point for him and what he really wanted in perspective and following his dreams. But it kind of really showed him, if you're going to fail at something, do you want to fail at something that follows your heart, that speaks to your purpose, that aligns you to your path? Or do you want to take the safe route and have the rug pulled out from underneath you, whether you have any control about it or not, where you're left unfulfilled and even the unfulfilled safe route doesn't even support you? I'm just saying, and if that resonates, by all means, put a heart in the comments below. Share your thoughts, because this is the veil of change and renewal. It brings change and freedom. It lets go of that fear and moves you towards your adventure. This is your judgment, and this is your awakening. This is your renewal, your rebirth, and transition. But with the 20 here, it also reduces to the 2, which speaks to the balanced polarity, right? It indicates choices that individuals make in life. Do you want to follow the crowd, or do you want to follow your heart? Or can both be married? Can you find a way to to make both of those fall into place here so that it meets all the needs and expectations? Only you can answer those questions, but it involves really trusting and following your intuition and knowing and allowing yourself to dream as big as the universe, and be aware that there is personal bias, that there is, a lens of perception that we all see through. But it's up to us to question that lens, right? To adopt and embrace and learn new perspectives so that we can gain new insights, new intellects, new perspectives, but also strategies, new approaches, new endeavors even too, new doors and new windows that can open that otherwise we wouldn't even touch, right? We wouldn't even try and open them. And so this is the time truly where the veil is thin. It's a time to receive that guidance, to embrace those new beginnings, and to allow those possibilities to come through. And this is where, again, Spirit is saying, taking that pragmatic, resourceful view, looking at the perspectives of being a go-getter, holding that responsibility, but also staying true to your creative side, as well as managing business and material prosperity. Again, we've got that Neptune energy. Could also be dealing with a Sagittarian. But this deals with material pleasures. This deals with manifesting money and material wealth, as well as prosperity. And it has to do with your career. But it leads to, by following your heart, by renewing and embracing that change. Not only does it lead to freedom, but it leads to that solid foundation. And this is where you are manifesting. I'm just saying, it's all about a new beginning. It's all about standing in your power. It's all about utilizing your power to stand as an individual, and also recognize that unity, right? Coming together, not only with aligning your chakras, with aligning to your life's path, your life's purpose, but also aligning in that collaboration, those co-creation projects. And like I say, if that resonates, share your thoughts in the comments. Put a heart in the comments below, because like I say, this gateway of change and renewal for Virgos is a time to embrace our feminine energy. And so the 5-5 portal really allows us, really invites us to celebrate that divine energy, where it allows us to really question things that need to come to an end, but find strength to embrace that change, to find that strength to empower ourselves to transform our lives, particularly when it comes to areas of prosperity, success, and determination. But through that determination, that's what leads to that stability and that abundance. Now, coming into things here as well with the tarot, this is where you could be stuck looking at some very hard choices, feeling a little blind to the truth. None of us has a crystal ball, right? This is where it really helps us to utilize that intuition, to trust the guidance, and to continue and persevere towards our long-term goals through the diligence and hard work that's necessary. But to keep that focus, especially if there's hidden truths that we don't necessarily know, that we can't predict, right? Against feelings of entrapment, things where it's like you don't know where things are headed, for instance. There's uncertainty that surrounds you. This is the time to really tap into that Taurian energy and experience the shift, embrace the uniqueness of your character, of your style, of your path and your purpose, and let go of the fear and move towards the adventure. This is also too where you're moving towards enlightenment. You're releasing those restrictions. You're releasing that feeling of trappedness or entrapment. Also too, you're not being afraid of sacrifice, right? This is where you're also standing as the Page of Swords. If there was sacrifice involved, you're looking at what's needed for preparatory action. You're taking a moment to pause and look at what you don't know and educate yourself as well as you can, as much as you can, with the patience and the diligence that it takes to really manifest and co-collaborate. And like I say, if that resonates, if this speaks to you and what you're able to finally let go of when you embrace the gateway of change and renewal and stand in that Empress power. Share your thoughts in the comments below, because what I'm seeing is that with the Knight of Wands, Spirit is confirming new ventures are going well and will go well. But this is the time to go on the adventure. May involve travel. Most importantly, it involves taking action, and it involves taking action towards your goals, towards your mastery, possibly even a new career. But this is where you're focusing diligently on your craft, and you're letting go of what doesn't serve you so that you can let go of any type of spiritual or financial hardships, poverties, and instead stand as the King of Cups energy. Find that balance, not only with rationality, with your emotions, but more importantly, standing as that wise, caring leader. And again, this is about bringing change and freedom, embracing shifts, letting go of fear, and moving towards your adventure. Because what I see it's meant for you is not only good news, but we also have balance and harmony, as well as partnerships that are healthy. You're getting rid of those toxic relationships that have kind of confronted you in this life. And you're instead walking towards what really matters when it comes to your value and what sets up for success, sets you up as well as the relationships up for success, and aligns you to that path and purpose. I love it. I am just saying. Now, let's also take a look at some oracle messages here, because this is a time where we are tapping in. It's time to manifest, and more importantly, to get back into the path that is meant for us. And what I see here is Spirit really wants you to keep in mind to remember that you can't change anyone but yourself. And so you could have been dealing with partnerships that really were toxic, weren't meant for you, caused stagnancies or even catastrophes, instead of lifting you up, lifting each other up for success. This is where you can recognize, or need to recognize, you can only change yourself, right? You weren't meant to carry the world on your shoulders. More importantly, there are lessons that are meant for you. Oh gosh, that's hilarious. So Jinx, stop trying to carry the world on your shoulders. Like I say, we are only meant to carry our own weight. We only are meant to learn the lessons that we sign up for in life, not the lessons of the world. Each of us is required to invoke that change, but we don't necessarily claim responsibility for doing the work for others that's needed. And this is where it's important to let all your feelings out. If you've been suppressing things that have unfortunately caused you, especially fears, that have caused that stagnation, caused you to really not necessarily nurture the path, the purpose that you're meant to do, the gifts that you're meant to shine in this world. This is the time to really look at those feelings and embrace all of them, even the ones that scare you. Let your heart shine and let your heart open. And more importantly, claim your power. It's time to stop giving your power away right now. I love it. I'm just saying. This is the time with this May 5th portal, the gateway of change and renewal, the transformation, to really claim your power, claim what's yours, and charge forward towards that adventure that brings change and freedom. I'm just saying. And if that resonates, by all means, share your thoughts in the comments below. Put a heart in the comments below, because what I see at the bottom of the deck with our animal totems is the ladybug. Luck is on your side. This is where Spirit wants you to be reminded, wants you to really remember that you are bright energy. Now is the time to let go of worry and be happy in the here and now. Would you rather fail at something that was mediocre, that's not your calling, or would you rather follow your heart and take that leap? Because right now what you're doing is, Spirit wants you to know what gifts you have. You need to know that these are what makes you loving, as well as what makes you the colorful you that you are. You bless the world with color, and good luck is on your side because of it. This is the time to really embrace that unique style, that unique character, especially as Pluto's now moving into retrograde and will grace us from May 4th through October 13th. This is the time to really balance your inner power with authenticity and claim your abundance. With the bison, this is all about the sacred buffalo and being cloaked in your wisdom. This is where, with that cloak, you're warmed through the storms of life. This is setting yourself up for change and freedom. This is where you're building that purpose, you're following that purpose, but you're allowing yourself to burst forward like the bursts of a crabapple or the bursts of the blooms of a tree when they first open up in spring. And this is the time to really know that that blanket, that abundance, that cloak, really is what will keep you warm through the storms of life. Now is the time where your life is meant to be filled with goodness, and more importantly, through gratitude, through prayer, you will find the way, because luck is on your side. I'm just saying I love it. And if that resonates, by all means, please like, share, subscribe. Let's get this message out to as many Virgos as we can, because this is a time where this portal, when the veil is thin, it's time to manifest. It's time to walk into your abundance. Now, before we go, I just want to look at our major arcana. For those that meditate, this is a great time to ground, especially with that Taurian energy on May 5th. But also, too, for those that practice music therapy in their meditation, really call in that music of the frequencies and the vibrations. What we've pulled is the E and the C. And so try playing around with those chord progressions as you realign your chakras. What I see quite a bit here is the crown as well as the third eye. And so it's all coming into alignment so that you can receive the guidance, receive the messages, because your soul knows the way. Now, also, color therapy gives you a lot of strength, particularly in your meditations, as well as your empowerment. And so try embracing reds as well as yellows on this May 5th portal. It'll really help you with celebrating and stepping into that divine energy, the energies of fertility, abundance, and your creativity, so that you can properly renew, properly manifest, and walk towards your change and your freedom. And so I truly hope that this reading helps. I'm sending all my light and love to you. Take care, and I will see you in the next reading.